Alright, today I'm going to be talking about ASICs versus GPU mining. First I want to start this video off by saying a couple things. The first one being ASICs cannot mine GPU mineable coins. So that means Zcash, Ethereum, Soilcoin, MusicCoin, YubiQ, Zencash, Hush, all these other things. And there's algorithms to determine what ASICs can mine and what GPUs can mine. So do your research if you're looking into buying an ASIC or a GPU to see if the GPUs or ASICs can mine that certain coin. Also note that GPUs can mine any coin necessarily, but not effectively. So you have to make sure that the hash rate you get from the GPU mining that coin is going to be enough and that there's not ASICs competing with you. Because if you have ASICs competing with your GPUs, I guarantee you, you're going to be making nothing. Now, another thing I want to say is I am biased towards GPUs. I own GPUs, I mine with GPUs, and that's just the way I do things. So take that into consideration when listening to this video. I am going to be a little bit biased, although I do think ASICs are good for certain applications, but just not home use. So besides that bias, or my opinion, I'm just going to try to make this video solely about the benefits, the drawbacks, why you would choose each one, the upgradability, the profitability, and the resale value of the ASICs and GPUs. So with that said, let's get started. So I'm going to start with GPU. So the benefits of a GPU can be used for gaming, it can be used for video rendering, graphics processing, it could be used for mining as well. It can be used for a broad range of applications, even password cracking or tons of different things. GPUs are needed, they're a necessity in most cases to computers. Intel has their own integrated graphics that doesn't work too well, but if you really want to have a good computer, you put a graphics card in there. So graphics cards are a multi-use tool. They can also mine multiple algorithms of coins. So many that, you know, they can even mine the ASIC coins, but not profitably. So I won't show you those until we get into them. But they can mine ETH hash, Equihash, and then if you mine ETH hash, you can dual mine. So you can mine two coins at one time. So you can mine some of these algorithms or the library algorithm at the same time as mining the ETH hash algorithm. Okay, so what does all this mean, the algorithms? So the algorithms are tied to a coin. So when someone designs a coin, they choose an algorithm to put with that coin. So with Ethereum, it came out with ETH hash, and Expanse used ETH hash, Ethereum Classic uses ETH hash. On the other hand, Zcash saw that ETH hash isn't the best option, so they came up with something called Equihash. And they use Equihash, and Zencash uses Equihash. Equihash is an open source, just like ETH hash. You know, anyone can use it for whatever coin they want to develop, and so on. So MusicCoin uses ETH hash, Hush uses Equihash, YubiQ or Yubic uses ETH hash, Z Classic uses Equihash, and then you get into the lesser known but dual mineable, you know, Neoscript, Blake, X11, Crypto Night isn't dual mineable, but it's kind of like Equihash. Monero is kind of like a privacy coin. I would have a hard time determining whether it's kind of like Equihash or ETH hash. But anyway, the reason why you can dual mine with ETH hash is because it doesn't use much of the core. It just uses a lot of the memory, whereas Zcash or the Equihash algorithm uses the core and the memory. So I'm going to be talking about algorithms in this video, not necessarily the coins, because the coins, they can change their algorithm if they want to. They can do a lot of things, but it's mainly the algorithm that you mine that determines. It's the algorithm that you mine that determines whether you can use an ASIC or a GPU to mine that coin. So with GPUs, you can mine any algorithm really, but as long as you don't have an ASIC competing with you, it's profitable most likely, and yeah, they have a good resale value to them. So let's say the newer GPUs come out, let's say the 1180 Ti's or the 2080 Ti's, whatever you think the next model of the NVIDIA cards are going to be, you can sell this one for 40 to 50% of what you paid for it. So I could sell it for probably $400 or $500 used, and someone will pick it up fairly easily because someone's going to need it for video rendering, or someone might want a cheap GPU to game on, or whatever have you. It's still an awesome GPU. It can run 4K at 30 frames or whatever, so it's really good GPU to buy and hold even in the future when the 11 or 2080 comes out. It's still going to be a good GPU to have. Now let's look at the benefits of ASICs. What do ASICs provide? Well, they provide a small form factor, and they provide a high dollar return per dollar of investment, but they provide a 0% resale value. Well, not 0%, but I think it's probably about a 5% resale value. So if you pay $1,000 for one, you can sell it for about $50. Take that for what it is. Whereas, 40% resale value. Okay, so the benefits of an ASIC, like I said before, it's a small form factor, which means that you can stuff a lot of them together if you have the electricity requirements that they need. So let's look at this one, for example. This one is a 14 terahash machine, and it will consume about 1,300 watts of electricity. Where is it? 1,370 watts of electricity, and it'll give you about 14 terahash, and that will give you, on the most profitable SHA-256 coin, $12.19 a day in profit and $15.15 a day in gross income. Now, what this means is, how do I put this? So what this means is, if you take into account this is $1,141 and this is pretty much $1,000, this card will earn you a few bucks a day, whereas this is going to earn you dollars, $10 a day. So actually, let me calculate this for you. So if I go 760 hashes a second, and I find Zcash, that's actually not right because I have to lower the wattage to 300. So you'll be earning about $4 a day from the $1,000 investment that you have to put into a graphics card, whereas the $1,000 investment you put into this Antminer, you get about $10 a day. So Antminers are better to invest in because of the high return to the amount of cost that you have to put into the actual ASIC. And also you have to buy a motherboard, a processor, sticks of RAM, and all the other cables that have to be attached to this GPU in order to mine with them. So that's a problem as well, it adds extra cost, whereas this just needs a power supply. So obviously this looks like the better option. Why doesn't everyone buy an ASIC and mine with ASICs? Well, the problem is when a new model comes out, this one becomes obsolete. The amount of electricity it consumes to produce that 14 terahash is so substantial that it's useless. It's going to go down to $50 if you want to resell it, and all the money that you put into it is pretty much gone. Also, there's a lot of people buying them. A lot of people see that profitability, and a lot of people buy them. That's why you see them sold out. All of the Antminer's products are sold out actually right now, except for that router thing. So sold out, and this one's back ordered all the way till November. So take that for what it is. Some of these you have to pre-order 3 months in advance. That's a pretty long time in my opinion, but you don't know where the market's going to be, you don't know where the difficulty is going to be, how many of these are they shipping out before then for people that have ordered it a few months back. So you have to take all that into consideration, where is the market going to go. So those are all things you have to actually consider in buying an ASIC, because this is a zero resale value type of item. You know, these things are pretty much trash once you're done with them, unless you can find some cool thing that you want to, you know, play with at home to use them for. But you know, nobody does that. People buy them to mine Bitcoin. So it is something that's very interesting to look at and maybe purchase. If Bitcoin goes up in price, you know, if this only earns 1 Bitcoin over its, I know this was, I think, $2,000 back when I looked at it last, and Bitcoin was 800 bucks Canadian, that is, so it was about 600 US dollars. And I'm like, oh, 2,000 for that, it's only gonna earn me a few Bitcoins a year. I'm not gonna do that. And then Bitcoin went all the way up to where it is now, and it's over $4,500 Canadian right now. So I kind of look at it, I'm just like, well, Bitcoin could still go up, so I could buy them, and you know, that type of thing. But there's also other drawbacks, like the fans. The fans are extraordinarily loud. They're not meant for home use. If you want a home use ASIC, I do not recommend this one. I recommend you get the Antminer R4, which are also sold out. But the problem with this one is you pay 1,300 US dollars compared to the 12, and you get 8.7 terahash rather than the 14. Although it does have a quieter, nearly silent use. You can watch TV with it in your home. You can do lots of things. So if you're going to buy one, buy this one for your home, unless you have some way to silence the S9. I know a lot of people use like coolers and then drill holes in the side of the coolers, put ducting and that type of thing. And that is an option that you can do, but you know, it makes the house look messy and that type of thing. So it's up to you, whatever you feel comfortable with. ASICs are a good option for people that have a warehouse though. So if you have a warehouse, you want to start mining, ASICs are a fabulous option. Go with an ASIC, or you could do GPU mining as well. A combination of the both is probably the best route, I would say. That way you're not putting all your eggs in one basket. I know I mine Ubiquiti and Zcash because I don't like putting all my eggs in one basket. That's just me. But yeah, so noise is a big drawback. But I think I covered most of the drawbacks and benefits of the Antminer S9. And the same goes with the what do you call it? Oh, they don't even post it up there yet. About the Antminer D3, which does the Dash algorithm, the X11 algorithm. The Antminer L3 Plus, which does the Litecoin algorithm and other script coins. So there are some, like, you know, this miner's not just for Bitcoin, it's for the SHA-256 algorithm. This one's for the X11 algorithm, and this one's for the script algorithm. And whichever coin uses those algorithms, these ASICs can mine. So take that for what it is. You know, like if I go here, you can see that, you know, the X11 algorithm, the most profitable one is the cannabis coin, and it gives you $190 in return. But that's if you had this back ordered for 3 months ASIC right this second, then you can get that type of profit. Who knows what it's going to be in 3 months? Who knows what the difficulty is going to be in 3 months? So take that for what it is. So again, like I said, the upgradability of the GPUs, you can just always buy mining rigs, you can buy GPUs, you can upgrade them one at a time. They have great warranties, which I've covered also in another video. So the warranty on an ASIC is 90 days. The warranty on these GPUs, about 2 to 4 years, depending on what brand you go with. So that's something you have to consider. And I know a lot of people break their GPUs on purpose and send them back saying, oh, they're broken, and they just get, you know, the newest model GPU from the manufacturer. I don't recommend you do that, but you know, there is cases where people do it, and I understand why. That's the type of thing. So anyway, yeah, GPUs per dollar point are a lot more expensive to get a smaller return per day than the ASICs, but they're also more home friendly because they use less electricity and that type of thing. They use less electricity, they're quieter, a lot of other stuff. So take that for what it is. The profitability lower, like I said. The resale value is higher, like I said, on the GPUs rather than ASICs. So all this stuff you have to determine what's the best option for me. I'm not going to tell you, hey, go with an ASIC. I'm not going to tell you, hey, go with the GPU. I'm just saying, higher resale value. It's has more than one purpose. You can use it for mining, you can use it for video rendering, you can use it in your own PC, or you can use it for gaming. You can even pull it off of mining, just off the rig. Close the rig down, pull it off of the riser, plug it into another computer, and you can game with it and then put it back in the mining rig when you're done. You can do all that stuff with GPUs, which you can't do with the ASICs. These are quieter, these are louder, they have no resale value pretty much. The amount of electricity that they're going to use compared to the profit you're going to earn once the newer ones come out is negligible, whereas the one like the 1080 Ti, it's still going to compete at about a 30 to 50% ratio, so it might do half the amount of hash of the 1180 Ti or the 2080 Ti, but the amount of electricity, but it's still going to be profitable, whereas these ones you're going to be running at a deficit pretty much. So yeah, I hope this helped you kind of decide which one you want. It's a really hard video to make. I could talk for a really long time on this type of stuff, and I could really give you a more in-depth knowledge if you want it, and I could do like a video that shows like a list of benefits and pros and cons of each. But I'm not going to do that here. I just want to do a quick overview because I'm not sure if people actually want to know this stuff. I'm just doing it as a favor to the people that don't know, should I go with ASIC or should I go with a GPU miner, that want to start mining, because my goal in making these YouTube videos is to keep cryptocurrency decentralized and keep it away from the way that Bitcoin's gone. With these ant miners, lots of companies just buy up these and put them in a giant warehouse and they start huge mining farms, and it's it just takes things away from normal people like us. So it's Bitcoin's not decentralized anymore. It's more centralized with a decentralized ledger. But mining should be decentralized as well to keep things safe, and that's where I want to keep things. But anyway, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. Either way, subscribe, hit the bell, and leave a comment below. And I'll see you in the next one.